So similar to the burn permits, Community Connect allows you to input any data that you want. You're in control of it. What we always look for emergency response data is homeowner information, contact information. In case you're not there, we can get a hold of you. This kind of takes it to the next level where you are true, you can put in as much or little information as you want regarding pets, regarding children under, how many children you have in the house under age 18. If you have anybody with mobility issues or any kind of special circumstance that you would want us to know about. That's on the residential side. On the business side, if you choose the business side, when it first opens up, that asks for other things, business related, such as plans, the layout of the building, if you have any kind of hazardous materials that you want to disclose, as well as contact information. So it goes down two separate paths, but all of that data is so important to us in response and allows us and feeds directly into a pre-incident planning software program that will be starting on March 1st. So this is the foundation to build off of that program and to feed into it. It gives us actionable data and intelligence that we can use.
No, that's great. And that, much like what we talked about in like October about the perimeter fire, it just seemed, oh yeah, it's building on something that you, as the fire department and other organizations in town would already do, like the natural census kind of information, where exactly. you can't necessarily take that information from the census because it's there for another, it's similar purpose, but you can't, please correct me if I'm wrong, because this is more or less your database that you're sharing with the police, or just strictly fire and the rest of the town?
No, this is strictly fire at this point.
Yeah.
I am looking into making this available if there's a way with different security levels or permissions. Let's say homeowners don't necessarily want to share their data with everybody, but they're comfortable sharing it with the fire department. That's fine. And that's where we've kept it at this point. First due is looking at making changes to the software to see if they could actually integrate permission level access by the end user. So the resident or the business, and say, yes, you can share my information with the water department for hydrant data on this premises, or my emergency contact data with DPW and the police department, which to me makes a lot of sense, because I would much rather work off of one accurate database than what we're kind of currently doing now, which is keeping separate databases, and they're in different forms and I'll say versions, which sometimes aren't accurate. So right now, this really gives a lot of ownership to the homeowner and the business. And something I should mention, while Community Connect gives the homeowner a lot of information, and as I've said, it feeds into that larger First Due software platform, which also uses different layers that is publicly accessible data, such as assessors data for homes and businesses. So we have a lot of data going out the door already. This to me is the icing on the cake. It's a lot easier for everybody to use and input and to update. It's funny, one of the questions that one of the select board members asked me was regarding the old Tot Finder kind of program with the stickers on the windows. And that was initially a good program, but where it failed was that people would move or kids would change bedrooms and they're no longer there. And what happened was those stickers always remained and nobody took them down. And they basically didn't update their data system, right? So, or their information. That was a failure of that system, and it kind of put a lot of us in harm's way when we're looking for somebody that no longer either lived there or was in a different part of the house. So where this resolves that issue, it gives you, the end user, the ability to update everything right away.
Yeah, no, it's funny you brought that up, and I remember hearing that at the select board meeting this past week or last week. But it's funny because at my parents' house, they actually, in my sister's room, they have that old orange, like almost Gerber baby, like sticker. And she's, I'm almost 40 and she's 30 something. So she's been out of the house for a while, but that's exactly, and I've seen it on other houses too, where just friends of mine bought a new house and it's like, oh, there's the sticker from, that never got removed. And yeah, it's weird. It's just funny and kind of great to see how things evolve, and the need for evolving, and the real danger of not know, like you said, not knowing and not having the correct info or intelligence to kind of do what you guys need to do, which is,
Yeah. Yeah, that's why when, I saw this, it was truly a no-brainer to me. It's a win for the department. It's a win for the community. I think it gives everybody the data they need to really make it to make a difference, make notifications in a timely and efficient manner. And again, it feeds into our pre-incident planning software, which gives us data going out the door on whatever we're going to. And it really takes what we already do, because we already collect this data in paper format. Let's say when we do an inspection on a house that's sold, we ask the new homeowner to fill out this piece of paper, and then we manually input it. This gives everybody that ability right off the bat. And, as you've already spoken to, technology makes it a lot easier with these QR codes, which opens up the website. And as long as you're comfortable with online banking and the security measures that those institutions take, it's the same level of encryption for this. Your data is not shared. It's only used by the fire department for dispatching to emergency incidents.
No, that's great. And it's great to hear. And I'm sure that's on everyone's mind whenever they hear, like, just all this information just in a database. Because there's a lot of scare tactics out there that lead people to believe that everything's up for grabs. Whether or not, and there are degrees of truth to that, sure. But I mean, we're living in an age where that's almost irrelevant because everything is available. So we have to be prepared for that and also work with it. So it seems like this is one of those programs that is in fact working with it and not trying to go the other way. But let's I thank you for breaking down what it is. Now let's get to how does one come to you, and how does one, put their information together or start the process?
Sure. So the process is available through a lot of the flyers that we sent out to the community. It's also available on our website under resources. So www.northrunningfire.org. Go to the resources tab, and Community Connect is one of those resources there. You'd click on that, and then it brings you to the Community Connect homepage. And there's two bubbles. There's one for a residence and one for a business. You pick which one you're trying to start the profile for, and it's all address based. So let's say you were a resident in town, but you own a business in town. It's fine because it's address based, and you'd be able to create two profiles. And once you create that profile, it walks you down what information cards are available for you to fill out based on that occupancy, whether it's a residence or a business.
No, that's great. That sounds very simple and easy to use. Now, here's kind of a slight curveball question. Was this within? I'm sure this was in your budget for all this. How much did this? Was it a crazy? It didn't seem like it's a crazy cost to the town, but how? I'm sure it was integrated pretty seamlessly into the budget with this program.
Yeah. So when I budgeted for the First Due program, this was a module that you could add onto it. And it was very reasonable. I think in the tune of $1,500 to add this module on. And
oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Wow, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, I don't have those figures right in front of me. So
yeah, sure.
It,
no, sorry. Yeah.
It was certainly not unreasonable. And again, it was a module of the bigger program.
No, that seems
made a lot of sense to me.
No, I hear those numbers, and even if they're around those numbers, higher or lower, it is worth it for the sake of having that information. And like I said, you're always paying for accessibility and the simplicity of it. So I mean, I think that's, and especially for a town, not a large town, but a town enough where there's enough information to put in there. So it seems like a good get, and it seems like this it's something for the future proofing, as they say.
Yeah, and what's nice about this with several of the programs that we've onboarded here recently is that, let's say we go to your residence and you see some information is wrong or you don't know how to do it. The engine company has a cell connected iPad, and they can edit that information with you on the premise. So and that change is uploaded to the server immediately, and everybody has the same information now within the department. So
That's great. So yeah, thank you for running through what it is, Community Connect, how you can actually connect and put your info up on there. Is there anything else you'd like to add regarding the program and what people can do to be a part of it or help out?
No, I just urge everybody to sign up and use the program. We've had a pretty good turnout so far, and I'd love to see the community embrace it and continue to input their data. And like I said, it's a secure platform and only used in emergency response. And we truly need that information at times. You know, hopefully you don't see us too often in an emergency, but when you do, it's very useful information to have. And again, I urge everybody to use it.
It's like that old New England adage, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. So
That's exactly it, Phil.
yeah.
And that's what we do daily. So this definitely helps us do that.
Well, great. Thank you, Don. And it's always great having you on, and you're always a wealth of information. It's always good you're here for telling the people what's going on, because it's important. And yeah, and this seems like a great plan and great program for people to use. So thank you again, and look forward to the next venture or the next piece we talk about.
Well, thanks, Phil. Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure doing business with you.